Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. So yes, I want to go ahead and address, yes, I decided that I wanted to get box braids. So that's what I decided to get. This is what they look like. I am so in love with them. I have not had long hair, whether it be real or artificial hair, in over 12 years. I begged my parents for like the longest time when I was younger to let me cut my hair. So they let me cut it when I was 12. So it's been like 11 or 12 years now with me wearing my hair short, like you guys have seen in all my previous videos. So with that being said, I wanted to go ahead and address the whole change that you guys see. So definitely let me know what you guys think about it. Like, just let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. If you guys have any questions, then just ask me. And also, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have new lighting, so yay, thumbs up for that. Let me know if you guys can tell in the comments. Also, just let me know if you guys can tell a difference. So yeah, with that being said, I wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you guys for joining me here on my channel. For those of you that are new, please hit the subscribe button to stay updated with all of my latest videos. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support. And with that being said, I want to jump straight into this video. So this is going to actually be a travel tag video. Now I'm doing more of a South African highlights with this video. I took some questions from a travel tag that I looked at online, and I just took some questions from there. But I'm going to focus this more on highlighting my trip to South Africa, which not a lot of you guys know that I did go to South Africa. I mentioned that if you guys watched way back when I did my What's in My Bag travel edition. But upon going and returning from Africa, I've had a lot of questions. I have pictures posted all over Instagram. People have been asking me questions all about it. One particular YouTuber, her information will be down in the description bar, Glamour143 Inc. Really had like so many questions. She asked me had I made a video on the trip, and I told her no, and I will get into that later as to why. But she had so many questions. I told her, yeah, I would love to make a video because I love making videos for you guys. So that's why I'm making this video, and I'm going to highlight that trip. She had so many questions about it, so I'm going to go through and answer all her questions. So that may even help those of you that are watching this if you have an interest of, you know, traveling to South Africa, or even not even Africa. Like, even the tips that I give for traveling abroad can help wherever you want to go, whatever country you decide to go to. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as I stated, and keep watching. Alright guys, so starting out, the first question asks, have you been overseas, and if so, where? So of course this is an international travel tag plus tips video. So yes, I have been overseas a number of times. I've been, of course, Cape Town, South Africa, which is the primary highlight of this video. I have been to, within Italy, I've been to Rome, Paris, Florence, Salerno, and then Civitavecchia. I've also been to Athens and Santorini, Greece, Kusadasi, Turkey, and I know I'm missing two. Oh, how can I forget that? London and Paris also. So those are the places that I've traveled overseas. The next question is, why do you travel? I travel for the richness of life, like being able to say, hey, I experienced this country, this culture, these people. That's something that I take very serious, and I love with a passion. Just being able to travel and see sights that people don't always see, experience things that people don't always experience, and being here within the US and within South Carolina, sometimes people can take things for granted, and you get complacent and you get comfortable. So it's really good when you step out of that comfort zone and you can see other lives and other cultures and how they interact, and how, you know, you could possibly even incorporate things from different cultures into your own culture. So I definitely really love that about traveling, and that's one of the reasons why I travel. So what was my favorite city or country? My favorite place that I've traveled so far definitely has been London, but second to that would be Cape Town. But as far as the next question here, what was my most memorable one, I would have to say, was in Cape Town, South Africa. So with that being said, I just kind of have like a little spiel of the whole African trip here. I'm going to try not to look down too much at the things I have written and just stay, you know, in constant contact with you guys. But occasionally I will glance down at this. So as far as going to Africa, I was there in June from the 16th to the 27th. And I took this trip with my nursing school. You guys know that I am a nursing major. I'm graduating in December. So this was for community health class. So if we took it over the summer, we had the option to travel to Ecuador or Africa. Well, you know me, I like to do it big. So I decided that I wanted to go to Africa. So with that being said, it was me and about 6 other nursing students, and then our professor, our instructor, who is a nurse practitioner and leads the group. She's led the group now for the last couple years. So we decided that, you know, that's what we were going to do. Everybody that was going to Africa, we all went to the meetings. It was all part of our tuition, so all that was taken care of. So this trip was actually the very first time that I traveled out of the country without my family. Like, I was the only person there. My family was not there. Like, I just had these other people that I had just met. Like, I knew our professor, of course, but I didn't know the other students. So that was a really, really uncomfortable time for me, just trying to get to know these people that I was going to be spending a good bit of time with. So with that, we all, of course, met. We had our packing party, where we packed all of our supplies, because this was going to be like a medical mission kind of thing. So we, you know, started getting to know each other, started talking and everything. So by the time we left for the trip and all met at the airport, I would say we were pretty close, you know, pretty good friends. So normally I travel with my parents, or either my mom and I. So like I said, this was the first time that I traveled out of the country by myself, like with no immediate family with me. Like, they were available like by phone, but that was it. So this was a 30-hour flight, you guys. The longest flight I've been on in my life. Like, flying to London wasn't bad, flying to Italy wasn't bad, all these places, but going to Cape Town, South Africa was the longest trip I have ever been on. And then, not to mention, as with all things that happen with airplanes and in the airport, we experienced delays. We had to do a layover in London for 5 hours just before we could even get on our flight to Cape Town. So with all that, you know, taking place, it took us like 30-some hours just to get there, but it was so worth it. Okay, so the first thing that she wanted to know was, did I go for work or leisure? So of course no, like I just said, I went for a school trip for my community health class. I decided to go international, so I did get the 6 credits for that class. So that was the reason for the trip. Did I purchase a package or just a ticket, and did I wing everything? So no, I didn't purchase like a package or the tickets or anything. Everybody that was going paid their money to the school, and the school has a person that does all the abroad trips, so she booked everything for us. But that's the only time that I've ever, you know, went through someone else to book a trip. Normally, when we decide to go on vacation, our family, like, we just book it ourselves. So a good tip for anyone that wants to travel, even if it's not international, like even if you're just traveling within the US or wherever, like, definitely do your research ahead of time. I definitely recommend TripAdvisor. I know everybody knows about TripAdvisor. I love to go on there and look at reviews of hotels, things that you can do wherever you're going to be, like in whatever country or wherever you're going to be at, things to do. And then you can also compare, you know, hotel prices, airline prices, and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely a good tip to do. Like, don't just off the cuff book something and roll with it. No, like, you want to do your research ahead of time. You want to even check with the country maybe that you're going to be visiting. Like, are they in any crisis at the time? Is anything going on? Because I know a big thing with going to Africa, everybody was worried about Ebola. No, we're not going to get Ebola in Cape Town, South Africa. So that was a big thing. Like, a lot of the parents were concerned about, okay, well, what about this Ebola? Because you guys know that was pretty big a couple months ago. So with that being said, like, research the country you're going to. Has there been any outbreaks? Has there been, you know, any civil unrest? Has anything taken place? So you definitely want to keep that in mind when you're going to book any type of trip. Did we have a tour guide, or did we figure things out ourselves? With this trip specifically for Cape Town, we did have a quote-unquote guide. We were working with a group called Extreme Response, and that's when we were going out doing our nursing work in the community. So we had like a liaison that worked with Extreme Response that was kind of like our guide. You know, he would take us around and show us the tourist sections, and he was with us for all the screenings and everything like that. So technically he was like our guide. But other than that, like, as far as in my personal life when I travel, no, I usually don't use a guide. I like to you know, use maps. I don't take maps with me, but I do like to look at maps like on my phone and things like that, because it's really good to not have maps out and stuff like that when you're in another country, because you'll look like a tourist and you will be pinpointed and you could possibly get robbed or anything. But usually, like as a family, we do like to wing it on our own, so to speak. I definitely like to research ahead of time, and I like to stay in a hotel if possible that's going to be close to walking distance to attractions and things like that, and close to public transit. I know in London we stayed right there off Waterloo, so we could get on the metro at any time and go anywhere we wanted to go. So definitely that is a tip for anybody interested in traveling abroad. Definitely check out the location of the hotel. Are you within walking distance of things? Or within walking distance of the metro or whatever kind of transit there is? So definitely be prepared so you'll know, okay, can I get to these places by myself? Should I find some kind of guide? Like, what should I do? So that's definitely another tip that I have for you guys. Okay, so where did you visit and could you see yourself moving there? Yes, it was Cape Town, South Africa. I actually could see myself moving there because it's so culturally diverse. Like, it's so different. And Africa has just such that rich history anyways. Like, I learned so much about like the apartheids with Nelson Mandela and how the segregation took place and how, you know, the Caucasians did this and the Africans did this. And then even as far as different races, like you have your Africans, which are your indigenous African people, and then you have your colored, which would be like myself or any other nationality that is not originally from South Africa. And then you have, of course, your whites or Caucasians, which are your whites or Caucasians. So it's technically like 3 racial groups within Africa, which I never knew. And the language also, they speak Afrikaans, and then they also do speak English, and some of them speak English very well. It just kind of has like a more British kind of accent. And currency is another thing I want to talk to you guys about as far as when you want to travel abroad. Definitely do not exchange any money inside the airport at all. We had a host at the villa that we were staying at that we exchanged our money with. But I know a good idea is to use ATM machines that are outside of, you know, outside the airport, like in the country that you're in. So that's a good idea. I did that in London. We used the ATM machine a couple of times. I also like to keep some American dollar on me because people do still accept American dollar. And then some of the native currency. Right now, I know in South Africa, 1 US dollar is 13 Rand. So the Rand goes a long way in Africa. Like $100 is going to be about 1,400 Rand. So you just do the math on that. And this is what the Rand looks like. It's right here. It has Nelson Mandela on the front. And this is a 10. So actually this is a dollar in US. If this had been a 20, this would be like, you know, like almost like $2. If this was 100 Rand, like a 100 Rand bill, then that would be $10. So it's really easy because all you do is just kind of, at least in Africa, divide by 10, boom. That's how you can kind of tell what you're purchasing and how that comes out in US dollar, especially if you are kind of on a budget and you want to know how much you're spending, how much you have left, and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, never exchange money in the airport. Always use an ATM machine. Oh, and the weather. Yes, I'm so glad I looked at that and had that remembered. The weather, at least in South Africa, because you are almost, you know, down by the equator or whatever, you're south of the equator. When it is winter time here in the U.S., at least, you know, on the East Coast or whatever, then it's going to be summer in Africa. So we went during the summer. We went in June. So we packed a lot of winter gear. Like, it was not snowing, but it was cold. Probably down in the 40s or 50s early in the morning, and it probably got up to like the mid to late 60s, maybe early 70s throughout the afternoon and the evening time. So you definitely want to be aware of the weather in whatever country you're going to be traveling to. Definitely make sure you pack accordingly. It never will hurt you to pack an umbrella or like a rain poncho or anything. That definitely came in handy in Paris, believe it or not necessarily even London. Surprisingly, when we were in London, it was completely sunny the whole time we were there. And people were making jokes like, oh, you Americans brought the sun and all this kind of stuff. But it was totally opposite in Paris. It was raining the whole time. Actually, I almost got sick from the rain. So anyways, with that being said, definitely make sure you check the weather for the dates that you're going to be in, whatever country you're going to be in, whatever city, wherever you're going to be. Check the weather. Pack accordingly. Always have an umbrella. Always have some kind of tennis shoes, like a rain poncho, just anything like that that can protect you from the elements. A nice jacket for the airport. Okay, so yeah, like I mentioned, earlier about the language barrier, just make sure if you cannot speak the country's native language that you travel with somebody who does, you get a guide, or you just go to a place that speaks English. I mean, I really don't have any advice for that as far as language wise, but you do want to be aware of language barriers. Like, just like here in the US, we have people that travel over here, English is not their first language, so they're, you know, probably gonna have a hard time. So definitely be aware of any language barriers in the country that you're going to be going to. I think that's really all that I have to say for you guys about traveling international and some tips that I have. So like, never walk around with your camera out or your cell phone out or anything like that, because you will look like a tourist. You will be targeted. If you're in a touristy area, then yeah, of course take pictures, but don't just walk, hey, I'm walking, I got my phone out because I just want to have it in my hand. No, somebody will run up, snatch this mug, and keep going. That happens all the time, especially in Africa. We were warned, do not have your phone out, do not have your camera out or anything, because yes, people do steal. But in Africa, with just the way the economy is and things like that, they're selling iPhones for like 1,000 rand. So that's a lot of money for them. 1,000 rand is not a lot of US dollar, but that's a lot in Africa. So definitely in any country you're going to, don't walk around with valuables out. You really don't even want to wear a lot of valuables when you travel, because that's just going to make people look at you and be like, okay, she's wearing a really nice ring. You know, that looks really expensive. I wonder if I can pickpocket her, or what kind of money can I get off of her or him or whatever. So you really don't even want to wear a lot of jewelry and flashy stuff when you travel either. So that's another one of my tips for you guys. Like I said, just research where you want to go, research hotels, the nearest things that are going to be around the hotel within walking distance. Can you get to the metro? What's the currency? What is the current state of the country I want to travel to? Who am I traveling with? Get travel insurance, definitely. Because you never know what could happen, and anything can happen. You miss your flight, your baggage is lost, you get sick on the trip, like anything. So make sure you always get travel insurance when you go somewhere. Of course, a valid passport, you need that. If you guys are interested in the type of things that I like to pack in my carry-on when I'm traveling somewhere, then I will link that video down below, the What's in My Bag Travel Edition video, for you guys to check out and kind of get an idea of things I like to travel with all the time. So yeah, I think that's about it. I've tried not to ramble too much and keep this video kind of short and to the point. As far as Africa, we did a lot of missions work, we did some health screenings, we did some touristy things. I was not able to make a video about that because I was so busy beforehand, and I've been busy since I've gotten back, so I just really had time to sit down and talk about it, especially since she was asking me all these questions. And I didn't get to record a lot on the trip. I did more picture taking and things like that, because we went to some areas where, you know, you can't record but you can take pictures, or either you can't do either of the above. So I was very limited with the things I could take pictures of, what I could do, what I could not do. But I will insert at the end of this video just a little short video that I compiled together of the footage that I had from the time that I was there. Very, very, very heartwarming and thought-provoking time that I was there in Africa, just seeing the condition of the children and the people. It really opens your eyes. Like, if you travel out of the country just for fun, okay, that's nice. But if you're traveling and you're really going to get down and dirty with the indigenous people, or the people native to that country, and you really see how they live and what they're going through every day, it will open your eyes, and you will never want to complain again about what you're going through. What you're going through seems like nothing compared to what I've seen and what I know people have experienced in Africa. Even right now, the crisis that is going on in Massapumalele, which is a shanty town that we visited, just the civil unrest that's happening right now, like, my heart reaches out to these people because I know what they've gone through. But even despite their living conditions, or what they're gone through, what they have, what they don't have, just the richness and the love that I experienced from everybody that I came across. Like, of course, yes, they could tell we were Americans. They could tell we were some kind of nursing, doctor-type students, and they would want to ask us questions. But just the love and compassion that these people share with you. And even the nursing students that we met that practice nursing in Africa, we gave them some stethoscopes and things like that we had brought for them. And just the love that they have for us, for bringing them something simple like a stethoscope. They had never had anybody give them anything like that before. Everything they had was old and used. And just for them to have something that was brand new of their own, like, some of them literally cried. And I remember one girl, we were doing a health screening and we were teaching them the day before how to do the screening. So the day of, they would be able to participate in the screening. She went home, told her mom about us because she was just so happy that we were there. And they're going through their little nursing curriculum. And she just told her mom all these things about me, all these things about all the students that were there. And her mom actually wanted to come out and meet me. And she was like, I've heard so much about you from my daughter. I'm so thankful y'all are here and y'all are serving this community. Like, just that, knowing that somewhere somebody appreciates what you do for them is just phenomenal. So with that being said, I had an awesome time. Definitely check out some of my photos on Instagram if you guys haven't. Like I said, I'm going to insert a short clip of like just a video that I compiled together of the footage that I had. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was just kind of like a quick highlights video. I wanted to answer some of her questions and give you guys some tips on traveling international. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. Please don't forget to thumbs it up and subscribe if you haven't. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.
I see the light inside you, brighter than the skies. Hold on, just let us escape and fly away tonight. We have the world in our sight, and I know together we'll be right. Can you see forever we will go? We are forever learning, one step at a time. As long as the world is turning, I'll be by your side. We'll keep the fire burning, I'll never see you hurt. You know I can't explain it in a way of words. We both know that you'll understand, and you'll see if you take my hand, and I'll go out of my own way for you. I'll go